Rattled by failures, fights, and disasters, Harry and Meghan hired a surrogate to save the marriage. Desperate royals want a bun in someone else's oven to save the marriage. The royal renegades, Harry and his nasty wife Meghan, are secretly planning a band-aid baby. They're trying to fix their marriage after a series of business and personal disasters, according to palace sources who spoke with Globe magazine. But considering the fact that Meghan Markle is at least 46 years old, we're not going to be seeing a baby in her belly. According to spies, Meghan and Harry are planning to use a surrogate to bring their third biological child into the world. After 5 years of marriage, Harry and Meghan are totally on different paths and headed for a trial separation, according to a high-level palace courtier. They're being ripped apart by family feuds, business disappointments, and a bitter public backlash over their shocking accusations of racism and bullying against the royal family. Marriage is being sorely tested on almost every level. The only thing they seem to agree on is children. Adding baby number 3 could be just what they need to keep them together, according to the source, but using a surrogate would be a first for the royals, supposedly. The idea has certainly raised eyebrows in the palace, according to the courtier. And let's remember that Harry promised that he only wanted 2 children. He said Archie and Lilibet would be it, but he and Meghan took to parenthood like ducks to water, according to another source. They've become very open to adding one more to the mix. Meghan apparently told Harry a third child would bring them closer. If they have this third kid, then they're going to be a family of 5, much like Harry's estranged brother Prince William and Meghan's bitter rival Princess Catherine, who are parents of Princes George and Louis and Princess Charlotte. The source dishes, however, Meghan has had a difficult pregnancy history. She struggled with suicidal thoughts and postpartum depression with Archie and suffered a miscarriage before she had Lilibet in 2021. Supposedly, she's 42 years old. I think she's older, but anyway, in prenatal terms, she is considered to be geriatric. She's also just signed with Hollywood's biggest agency, and she's ready to try to relaunch her career. I'm sure she doesn't want to take a time out and lose her figure for a year, so hiring a surrogate is her best option. We hear they're praying for twins, which is common with IVF births, and would one-up William and Kate. Interestingly enough, a numerologist, Heather James, has forecasted another baby for Meghan and Harry, and also she's forecasted the couple are having some problems. I predict they will have a third child in 3 years' time, said James. Their numbers say it all. But she also noted there will be difficulties in the marriage. She said, Meghan's rigid with rules and sometimes lacks tolerance. Harry is ambitious and independent. They must listen to each other for things to work out. Meghan and Harry's marriage problems really exploded as their California dream of fame and fortune turned into a nightmare after they were considered to be grifters by the Spotify podcast boss Bill Simmons, and then their $20 million deal with Spotify was cut. Just days later, there was another bigwig in showbiz who called them no-talent wannabes. And now reportedly, Harry and Meghan are considering moving away from their $17 million Montecito McMansion. That's a 3-hour drive to Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and they're considering living in Malibu. It would put Meghan at the center of the celebrity world she craves, according to the palace source. Well, this source also went on to say, but I can't imagine Harry being any happier. He finds the Hollywood lifestyle sheer hell. He wants to get away. He's going to Africa alone to rebuild his self-esteem while Meghan remains in Hollywood chasing superstardom. But I'm told they're clashing over the separation. Right now, I think she'll do anything to save her marriage. Well, Meghan does have a reputation of loving him and leaving him, but she understands that Hollywood's interest in her is all connected to her royal status. It has nothing to do with her talent. She cannot afford to lose Harry. And a new baby could do a lot to discourage persistent rumors that their marriage is in trouble. But still, it's a pretty big risk. At the end of the day, love and a bunch of kids cannot conquer all. And it's not only that, but apparently Harry and Meghan have to pay £3 million to turn that book into a Hollywood film for Netflix. There is something very disturbing about all this. Between them, they seem to be stuck in a loop, don't they? His mother meets her, she's like his mother passed away. There really is no ending here. It's a vicious cycle. They are their own little cult. I'm just glad that they're separated from the royal family. The royal family does not deserve to have to put up with them. And another thing I wonder is how in the world are they going to turn this book into a TV series or a movie or whatever? I mean, right now there is the biggest actors and writers strike that's happened in decades. So I guess they're just going to use non-union writers. I mean, or more likely, Meghan's going to try to write it herself. If she writes it herself, you know the words I and me are going to be in that script at least 10,000 times, and the rest of the script will be a bunch of word salad nonsense because Meghan wrote it. And she'll probably cast herself as the leading actress. I mean, at least it is a job. And, does Meghan know a lighting director who has won an Emmy, maybe? Oh, wait a minute. That would be her father. She's not going to hire him. Meghan Markle couldn't even put a podcast together, and she had a team of over 20 people helping her. So, how in the world do they think this is going to work out? I think it could force them into bankruptcy, and that would be excellent. I mean, so far, this melodramatic soap opera of their lives is pretty exciting. It's the most bizarre storyline ever. How is it going to end? Seriously, though, they're going to be spending way too much money because no one's going to give them a break. No one's going to want to help them out. And then it's going to be back to blaming everybody else for their problems and playing the victim. And it's believed the love story that echoed Meghan and Harry's real-life relationship cost up to £3 million. What in the world? A love story? This is a horror story. Unfortunately, though, I bet there are a lot of people who would watch it just to criticize the two of them. But Meghan is bound and determined to get herself an Emmy or an Oscar. She really is on a mission. And then she's got her knight in shining armor there by her side, Harry, to take a swipe at all the detractors. Let's remember, it took them over 2 years to create that stupid mockumentary, and now they're planning to make a film? I hope I don't live to see that, honestly. Not that I'd watch it anyway. I'm sure Marcus Anderson's going to be a co-star. What a great way for them to spend even more time together. And honestly, his acting couldn't be any worse than hers is. As much as I cannot stand the two of them, though, I gotta be honest with you. I hope that this project does work out for them and they make a bunch of money, so then they won't need to go begging for handouts from King Charles. I would think there are enough non-union writers who are capable of putting together a romance drama on screenwriting software. The Philippines actually is a great source for people who are excellent writers, and Australia also has a bunch too, apparently. And Meghan is gonna appoint herself the heroine, and I'm sure she'll pick somebody other than Harry to play the hero. Just ignore Meghan's puff pieces, though, when she wins her Emmy, like that's ever going to happen. We know it's all she ever wanted. So maybe the best thing would be if she could just win herself an Emmy, and maybe then they would finally start living the private lives they claim that they want. As long as Meghan can stay out of politics, I don't care what she does. And you, what do you think about Meghan and Harry? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you preferred our video today, don't be afraid to like and share with your friends and relatives who need it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.